I'm Anna Garcia, right now on True Crime News. Exclusive, her worried family reported her missing. We found her.
Hello, Chanel Banks here in the flesh. Shocker, I am alive.
True Crime News has the first interview with the Gossip Girl actress whose mysterious disappearance dominated the news. Her stunning reasons for intentionally vanishing.
It is a simple explanation.
Her disturbing claims about her family.
My mother and my cousin, whom I have not spoken to for 10 years.
Plus, we talked to her husband. What did he know? Then she went through an extreme makeover.
She lost close to 200 pounds in a year's time.
To chase her modeling dreams. But Shelbey Thornburgh's final photo would be a crime scene. Was her killer also caught on camera?
He walked out not even with a spot of blood on him.
Now Shelby's family and police need your help finding the man in the sunglasses. Your daily source for true crime starts right now. We start today with a True Crime News exclusive, a truly baffling family mystery. A mother pleads with the public to help find her missing daughter, only for the daughter to reemerge safe and sound, pointing the finger at her family. The Gossip Girl actress at the center of the headlines speaking out right now.
Hello, Chanel Banks here in the flesh. Shocker, I am alive.
She's the so-called Gossip Gone Girl, Chanel Banks, the missing actress at the center of countless disturbing headlines and news reports.
Her family says they haven't heard from her in 2 weeks.
After her family reported her missing to the LAPD, her mom and others launched a GoFundMe and a desperate search to find her, even posting flyers with her photo.
I don't know where she is, but I know we will find her.
Now, for the first time in this True Crime News exclusive, in her own words, Chanel's revealing what really happened after so many believed she might have met with foul play.
Phone's off. I'm feeling unplugged for the first time in my life. And then I had to turn my phone back on. I had over 60 missed phone calls, unknown numbers, from my family, but also from the police.
She's speaking out now on True Crime News because she's not only alive, she's well and confused as to why her family ever reported her missing.
It is a simple explanation. I had to take myself out of a bad situation, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. And what transpired from that is what you are seeing in the media now, specifically from the people I've gotten away from.
This is my daughter. I have one child.
True Crime News was there when Chanel's mother and cousin made a public plea for information and her safe return. Chanel was shocked when she saw that this LA news conference went viral.
You're seeing two people right now, my mother and my cousin, whom I have not spoken to for 10 years.
In the past 10 years, Chanel came to Hollywood to pursue the dream. She has landed roles on Gossip Girl,
OMG, twins,
Blue Bloods, and the movie 12. But Chanel says what all the lights and camera didn't show you was an ongoing, difficult family life. She claims she was the victim of a situation from which she was desperate to escape.
For years, I tried to set boundaries to make myself feel safe. So I did make attempts before to leave the people who we will refer to as my family.
Chanel's family has denied her accusations. True Crime News also tracked down Chanel's husband, Carlos Jimenez. After her family filed a missing persons report, police questioned Carlos, who at first seemed uncooperative. He dodged the media too, and it only raised suspicions. Carlos tells us he was standing by Chanel.
They should accept that she is where she is, that she doesn't want to talk with them.
Her missing person found story all started 10 days ago when Carlos took her to the airport so she could leave Los Angeles.
He dropped me off with my dog. I said goodbye to him, gave him a hug, he got in the car, and he went back with our dog to our house.
She told me a few days before she went on the trip that she had decided to cut off contact with her family, especially her mother.
Her destination, this secluded Texas town, and a personal spiritual journey to a controversial pastor.
I just wanted to take a trip There was a pastor in town I liked who came from Perth, West Australia, Pastor Robert Clancy.
I want you to come and start to pray.
I grew up listening to him, and I have great respect for him.
It wasn't until Chanel's AirPods pinged that officers wearing a body cam found a woman who identified herself as Chanel Banks.
That was definitely her. She was wearing clothes I recognized. She was wearing jewelry I recognized. She looks like her, like what she looks like.
Chanel's mom and cousin remained skeptical, saying the woman on the video was an imposter, but a video later posted online finally convinced them Chanel had been found.
We were able to pause the video and circle her face. I showed the video right away to her mother, and we said within seconds, that's Chanel.
All we ever wanted was proof of life, and that's what we got. I will be able to sleep at night knowing that she is alive.
Chanel never imagined she'd be in front of lights and cameras in this way.
I haven't been gone for 3 weeks. I haven't been missing for 3 weeks. I'm an adult woman. I don't have to call my mother every day.
But despite the unexpected and unusual fame her life recently took, she's determined to readjust and refocus.
Now that it's done, now that it's out, now that everyone knows my pain and what I've gone through, I don't have to hide anymore. So, it just feels so good. It feels so good to just be here and not be hiding something.
Coming up, an aspiring model is viciously murdered.
They told me that she was cut, like she put up for self-defense.
But who would want to kill the beautiful blonde? And can they be caught? That's next. We turn now to Houston, Texas, where a beautiful young woman with dreams of becoming a model is found brutally murdered. Surveillance cameras catch a possible suspect, but her case has yet to be solved, and police need your help trying to catch her killer. An aspiring small-town model with big city dreams. Her beautiful face would soon be on the screen, but not as a superstar.
I got a call at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Instead, she'd make headlines as a murder victim.
The last 2 words we spoke to each other was, "I love you."
With her killer on the loose, her family lives in fear.
I'm still scared that I could be next.
Police zero in on security footage and a mystery man who could hold the key to cracking the case. But who is he? 20-year-old Shelbey Thornburgh didn't have much of a childhood. Abused and neglected, she was shuttled from one foster home to the next in rural central Texas. Early on, her sister says depression set in. It led Shelby to the brink of obesity.
She used to be very overweight, and she had determination to make herself where she wanted to be.
Through it all, Shelby had one loving guardian angel, big sister Christina.
Shelby, she was a little bit younger, about 2.5 years, so I wanted her to kind of have the childhood that I couldn't have. I made sure that she was able to be a child a little bit longer than I could be.
And eventually, Christina helped her little sister move to the big city, Houston, Texas. There, Shelby stepped into a newfound self.
She lost close to 200 pounds in a year's time, working out and eating healthy.
Soon, Shelby had a boyfriend, an apartment in a luxury high-rise, and big ambitions.
She had told me that she wanted to become a model.
Shelby was a good person. She lived in a side of town that was, not a bad side of town. She lived in a nice high-rise apartment complex.
But life in the big city wasn't as rosy as it seemed. Under the bright lights, Shelby's dreams of modeling soon came with a high price tag.
She was almost 300 pounds at one time, and it left her with some flab. And so she wanted to get the tummy tuck done and get a little bit bigger boobs. And so that way she could have no problem becoming a model.
Desperate for cash, Christina says Shelby became a high-end escort, and her boyfriend apparently approved.
She was using the escorting business as a way to get her stuff done that she wanted to become a model.
But every time the phone rang, Christina feared it was Shelby calling from jail. And one day a call did come through, this time with far more tragic news.
She said, "Are you Shelby Thornburgh's sister?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I am." She said, "I'm sorry to inform you that your sister has passed away."
Shelby hadn't just passed away, she was brutally murdered. Life would never be the same.
I can't just pick up the phone and call her. I can't hear her voice and her telling me it's gonna be okay, sister. Or telling me that she loves me.
More shocking are the grisly details.
Her throat was slashed from left to right with a very sharp knife, and so sharp that it actually cut into her bone.
They told me that she was cut on the neck and then had a cut on her wrist, like she put up for self-defense.
This time, Christina had not been able to protect her baby sister, a good girl who may have made some bad decisions, but the questions swirled. Who would want her dead, and why?
911 emergency.
The 911 call came in when Shelby's boyfriend called the police. He found her lying on the bed, unresponsive.
Inside the apartment, her boyfriend discovered her lifeless, bloody body. Cops and family wondered what happened in the high-rise.
My thoughts were, this is a joke. This can't be true.
When we come back, was Shelby targeted by a stranger or someone close to her? The investigation moves in a shocking new direction when surveillance cameras capture the main person of interest in her lobby.
It seems as if the suspect committed the crime and then made sure to be gone as quickly as possible.
That's next. We're back with the murder of Shelbey Thornburgh. After losing 200 pounds, she was chasing her dream of becoming a model. She had no idea that she would catch the eye of a killer.
It was pretty severe and pretty forceful.
An aspiring model's last picture, a crime scene photo.
I couldn't believe that my sister was dead.
Her grieving sister, Christina Scott, was desperate for answers. She went to Houston searching for clues.
When I went into Shelby's apartment and I seen all the blood, I was still hoping it was fake.
Christina's suspicion immediately turned to Shelby's boyfriend, a man she claims helped Shelby work as an escort.
He is the first person that was there. He's the person that had the last contact with her.
Cops learned Shelbey Thornburgh had been living with the guy for several months. Not only did he find her lifeless body and call 911, they knew he spent time with her that day.
When my partner and I arrived, she was nude. Obviously, this person had some sort of relationship with her. There's no evidence that indicates that she was sexually assaulted. It appears to have been consensual.
Shelby's boyfriend had a lengthy drug-related rap sheet, although no convictions for violent crimes.
We investigated the boyfriend extensively. We haven't ruled him out as a suspect.
But cops had no actual evidence to tie Shelby's boyfriend to her murder for an arrest.
It's really important to me to find out who killed Shelby, not only for Shelby, but so that way he don't do it again.
Months pass. Then, a clue from Shelby's apartment building.
The high-rise apartment complex had a video system in the lobby, and we did obtain that video, and the suspect is seen entering and leaving the apartment complex.
Cops released surveillance footage showing the suspect just moments before investigators believe she was killed. The man on tape is clearly not Shelby's boyfriend. Police describe him as a white male wearing a light-colored long-sleeve shirt, shorts, and tennis shoes. He was only in the building about 17 minutes.
It seems as if the suspect committed the crime and then made sure to be gone as quickly as possible.
Another clue came from Shelby's phone, a message exchange with a man setting a date, most likely a reply to her Escort ad.
We are confident that the person that's seen in the video was going to be the suspect, not the boyfriend of the victim.
But police hit a roadblock.
The phone was purchased shortly before this incident and then deactivated immediately afterwards. The phone that the suspect used was most likely just for this purpose and then deactivated and no longer traceable.
A burner phone paid for in cash, so it couldn't be traced. Homicide detective Dustin Crowder believes Shelby could be the victim of a serial killer, a man with a particular interest in blondes.
I would say that the suspect in this case appears to have made contact with our victim based on her appearance. She was a blonde, an attractive woman, and he may have had a preference for that type of woman.
According to police, the suspect contacted other women similar in appearance before the night of the murder. They coordinate with the FBI. Christina believes the killer knew what he was doing.
He had to have some knowledge on how deep to cut the throat, where to cut the throat, what to wear, how to do it. He walked out not even with a spot of blood on him. He walked out with the same clothes he walked in with.
Detectives released the video throughout Houston and announced a reward, but years passed with no leads and no killer in prison. But then, a glimmer of hope. Video forensic evidence. Analyst Doug Connor enhances the surveillance video footage, which offers a much clearer image of the suspect.
The video is actually only 352 dots wide. That's only 1/10 of a megapixel. After enhancement, this is as much detail that can be pulled out of the gentleman as he's leaving the building.
The enhanced video offers only a slight improvement in quality, but it does reveal some new information.
From the original recording, it's very difficult to see for sure what's on his head. As we move over to the enhanced, we can more clearly see what appear to be sunglasses on his head, a slight receding hairline, and what appear to be shorts.
Connor is also able to enhance the video to show how the suspect walks past 3 people sitting in the lobby.
In the enhanced video, we can see that the 3 people sitting here are paying attention to something in their laps that appear to be cell phones, and might explain why they did not notice the gentleman leaving.
But it's not enough to yield a suspect.
The case is ongoing and it is being investigated, and we've actually received tips, up until this day.
Now, 10 years later, cops are still desperate for more information.
We have put the video out through the Crime Stoppers of Houston, and if anybody that's watching this does recognize this person, they can contact Crime Stoppers of Houston, and there is a reward for any information that leads to the arrest of this suspect.
Shelby's sister remains determined to bring the killer to justice.
If something happens to me, the next person in my family will take their role on trying to find her killer. It's never gonna stop until he's found.
Even if she risks becoming a target herself.
I'm still scared that I could be next. He could be coming to get me to try to stop me from trying to find out who done this to my sister.
If you have any information that could help solve Shelby's murder, please contact the Houston Crime Stoppers at 713-222-TIPS or call the True Crime News tip line at 888-845-7555. We'll be right back.
A True Crime News special.
I just started asking, hey, have you ever had a weird experience with Dr. Farley?
The big secret in a small town.
I cried the whole way home.
A trusted doctor, hundreds of his female patients say that he allegedly turned their trust into abuse.
My body knew something was wrong.
What they're exclusively telling us.
He was coercive in an authoritative way.
The shocking twist and how they're fighting back in a big way on the next True Crime News.
For the latest breaking crime news, go to truecrimenews.com. Watch more exclusive content on our YouTube channel, listen to our podcast, and follow us at My True Crime News. That's it for today's True Crime News. I'm Anna Garcia. See you next time, everyone. Crime doesn't stop, neither do we.